Hi, I'm Brent Johnson, and today I'm at St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, still in Kansas City, Missouri. With me is Tom Vozella. He is the organist and director of music here at St. Andrew's. Tom, how long have you been playing this wonderful organ here?
10 years.
10 years. This is an Aeolian-Skinner organ from 1963. So just a little bit older than the last one we saw in Independence, Missouri.
Yeah, this is the younger sister of that instrument.
Well, I've already noticed there's a lot of similarities in design and spec, so it must have been the people here must have really enjoyed that one and wanted to have something very similar. It does have Michael Quimby's name on it. He worked on it in 1993. So most of it's been adjusted a little bit, I'm sure, from its original 1963 sounds.
Right.
Do you know how many ranks we have total?
Right now we have 68.
Okay, 68. So yeah, a lot of instrument behind the facades here. It's mostly all here in the front of the church, correct? Behind these two cases, and then there's some in the former chamber of the organ,
pedal division,
and then we've got some all the way back in the back. But we'll talk about that when we get there. I want to hear some of this up here. So let's just start with the principal chorus and the grate. Tell me what stops we have, and let's hear them.
We have a principal 8, octave 4, super octave 2, and mixture goes between 4 and 5.
Let's just start with each one and just build it up. So play a little on the 8 and then add the 4. I noticed the same kind of thing where the 4 kind of bulges out a little bit, and then the mixture really crowns the ensemble there. Very bright and clear here in the room. Okay, and then we have some flutes in this division as well.
Yes, the roar flute is new. It was the one that was here was didn't interact very well, and so we have a new one, and it's quite lovely. And then the 4-foot, 2-foot,
that's all coming from that side of the room, whereas the principal chorus was over here in this case. Okay, and then what else do we have in the great division there? We have a harmonic flute as well?
We have one of the nicest harmonic flutes you'll ever hear. And a decent tremolo with it.
And that says flute tremolo on it, so I'm guessing that just trims the things that are in the flutes in that chamber, so that's everything over there.
Yeah, that would be the mutations and such.
Yeah, adding the Nazard and tierce as well. Now there's a cornet knob. Is that just bringing on those existing mutations? So you've got all of that in just one easy.
And what they did, there's no like when you were at the auditorium, there's the bombard division. Mm-hmm. We don't have that here. It's been put on the grate.
So you get a much bigger reed sound in the grate than over there, having that there. I want to hear some of those reeds by themselves. So we start with an 8-foot bombard. That's where we.
Okay. This is from the choir.
Okay.
And this has been completely reworked. So, and it plays on the grate independently. And then the trumpet, 8-foot, is a brand new trumpet. Clarion used to be unstable, and now it's very stable. and then the bombard 16. Then that is just, but all together.
See, yeah, much bigger reed sound than I would expect from an Aeolian-Skinner from that era.
Yeah, correct, correct.
And then there's a 16-foot. Is that out here in the grate, or where does that come from?
It's transferred from the the Swell. The bottom 12 are the roar gedeckt.
Oh, I see. All right.
And then the viola is the upper.
I see. So it gives us both a string sound and a 16-foot there we can use in the grate. All right. Well, let's go over to the choir. We talked about that a little bit. Tell me what we have in the choir.
Choir. This is where this choir division, for the most part, was just cleaned up and nothing really done to it. And this is the most authentic from 63 that there still is. Authentic may be the wrong word, so if you can get. So we have the Dolkin Celeste.
And if it's like the auditorium, not really a Dolkin tapered stop, just a Dulciana that's a nice quiet.
correct.
And probably the softest stop in the organ then.
Right, and then you really can't, and same with because all of these stops are the same from both places. But if you use we're not there yet, but
Okay.
And then we have a Spitz string and a Celeste, a little bit more presence.
Yeah, nice to have the two different Celestes there for a loud and a soft.
And then you basically have a flute chorus, but you can also have a principal chorus at the same time.
Nice, using the Spitz flute as your 8
Correct,
fret.
yeah. Right. And I add that for a little bit more.
Yeah, it's very gentle. Again, very similar to the previous Aeolian-Skinner we heard. The choir is a very gentle division.
And we have a crumb horn that stays in tune.
Oh. Very nice. And then we have a few other little color stops in there as well.
Yeah, we have mutations. I'll just play it by itself. 2 2/3, 1 3/5. And you can fake a clarinet. And the clarinet is really kind of cool in the pedal.
That's really effective. It works well. All right. We also have a mixture in there. We didn't get all the way up to that, did we?
Yeah, it's pretty bright, but it's soft, so it's not a squealing one. So the whole principal chorus you end up with is this.
Yeah, very full, but not loud at all.
And the crumb horn with it.
And then that's all completely expressive, so
correct.
You can make it as soft as you need.
And what's nice is having this major reed, the bombard under expression, because you can, add just some 8s and 4s, and you don't have to couple it, but it plays here, and you just.
Nice to have control of that sound on top of the grate. All right. Well, the other division over there is the antiphonal, but I want to talk about that a little bit later. So we're going to come over here to this side, and I'm going to come around behind you.
Okay.
So over here, we have our swell division. Tell me, let's start with the 8-foots and the swell. What do we have here?
We have a gedeckt, very, very soft, very lovely gedeckt. We have a flute octave, but it's really a harmonic flute. I never quite understood Skinner's reasoning for not calling it a harmonic flute.
Well, yeah, flute octaviante, which sort of implies a harmonic flute, but yeah. It seems like an English name would have been just fine.
And then there's no 2-foot flute, but a 2-foot principal. So the principal chorus here is pretty much 8, 4, and 2. This. And if you want a little more English sound, you add the viola. So but you basically have 8 and 4-foot flutes. And the newest stops are the 2 2/3 Nazard and the Vox Humana.
Oh, okay.
But so this is the 2 2/3 with the 2 flutes. And then principal chorus with the mixture, 4-rank.
Bright, but not too loud there again, and all under expression, so you can pull that back even more if you need to.
And then we have a full bank of, and I have to tell you, the labeling here has not been completed yet. The oboe used to be at 8 and 16.
Okay.
But we couldn't satisfactorily find a 16-foot bottom 12 that would go with this new oboe.
Oh, okay.
So we did something really unique that has been really exciting. We made the trumpet at 16 and 8.
Okay.
So that it's all under expression. And from this period, all an oboe was from this period was a softer trumpet anyway, but now it's an actual oboe. So, and that was, Quimby has, Eric Johnson is the reed voicer, and he's got magical ears.
He does, indeed. So it still says contra oboe 16, but that's
right,
indeed actually a trumpet.
We've got to get new tabs for it, and here too. So,
I see.
But I'm sure that's very confusing. But it's very nice for English choral literature, because basically the trumpet is about the volume that the old oboe used to be. And so for English choral music, you have a really nice then if you open it up,
Lovely sound.
pretty powerful.
Yeah,
huh?
and nice to have all that control. All right, and then there's a 4-foot as well. Is that
Yes.
independent?
And this has been stabilized. And they really all work well together.
Oh, yeah, that's a great sound.
So you can take the one from the great.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Good contrast, but
Yeah.
a lot of color. Excellent.
Oh, we didn't do the Vox Humana.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about the Vox Humana.
Then add the strings to it.
much like the auditorium, had to be added after the fact.
Correct.
I wonder,
correct.
They didn't like Vox-Humanas back then. I don't know what they're...
Yeah, that was interesting. And then it was always intended that these would be here, but somehow they left like blanks for them to be here, but whoever was here didn't want them.
I see.
But
all right.
and because you can really get a nice, good gospel sound going with all of this stuff on. Now I'd like a double tremolo, but
It's nice to have that when it's called for.
yeah.
All right, well, and then we have a pedal division, which you said is in this other former chamber of
right,
the organ.
right.
So what independent stops do we have in the pedal?
The principal, which is the 16-foot,
Okay.
is the facade. Which with all we've been having, the organ now is 60 years old. And so you start out, the first one was 25 years later, and then another 25 years later. And now, as we get to the 60th, things, start going awry. The little, what are those round things called again?
The beards.
The beards start rattling and everything. So, but the 16, 8, and 4 are there. I really can't tell you if they're independent or not, because I don't. But together, it's a nice.
Well, we can find out if those are independent. The simplest way is to turn on the 16, and I like to just play top G, and then turn it off and turn on the 8-foot and play the G. Now those are different, so yeah, okay. And then the 4-foot, you can do the same thing. It sounds like 3 separate
They
ranks
are,
there, so
yeah.
okay.
Cool.
So a whole independent principal chorus in the pedal there. And then we also have a mixture to go on top of that.
We do.
Just a gentle 4-rank mixture there to brighten up the pedal.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what other flue stops do we have?
We have the 8 and 16-foot from the Swell.
Okay.
And then the Borden, 16 and 8. And 4.
That sounds like that is a unit.
Yeah,
All
I
is
believe
one.
that one is. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then the contraborden is Walker.
Oh, okay. Very effective here. I can imagine out in the room, it's probably really shakes it.
And then most of the reeds come from the grate.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a 16 Bombard 8-foot trumpet. Then with the 4-foot. And then, like we said before, the trumpet, what used to be an oboe, carried down from the Swell, is now a trumpet. And we can control the volume of that.
Yeah.
And that neat?
How nice to have two 16/8/4 reed banks there. Then one can be shut down to nothing, and the other can really.
And then you could play it with this reed from the choir.
Control the whole chorus. That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have one more. We have a real 32-foot reed in that chamber as well. Let's hear that 32.
These are all the reeds you can play. Oh, so we pull that onto the antiphonal hooded tuba can be played in the pedal too.
It makes a nice amount of noise.
Yeah. Ben, when the AGO convention was here, Ben Sheen got really daring and used the tuba in one of the pieces in the pedal. So.
Well, let's talk about that. There is a whole division in the back of the church.
Yes.
That is our antiphonal division, and there is a big hooded tuba there pointing at us from the back. But let's start with some of the flute pipes and the softer stuff that's over here.
Let me give you a little background though first.
Please.
The antiphonal is the original grate.
Oh,
it used to hang on this wall right here. And so that was moved to the back with the exception of the hooded tuba, which is new. And then so the grate here is a completely new division.
Oh, I see.
So because this was if you do the flutes, they're basically, it's sort of like a lot of churches that have, we call it an antiphonal, but it's really more of an echo, but it's not under expression because they're both equal.
I see.
And you can play them, with each. So here's the 8-foot flute from the antiphonal. 4-foot. And that's all there is for flutes.
Okay.
And if you add the 15th, you can.
Nice.
And then there's the 16-foot.
Yeah, there's actually a 16-foot stopped flute back there. I don't even see it.
It's if you look from the side, you'll see it has blue felt on it.
Okay. All right. And then we do the principal chorus then.
Yeah.
8-foot and 4-foot.
Different mixture, still 1 1/3, but different makeup.
I see. Okay.
And you cannot use the hooded tuba with that for an ensemble sound.
It's definitely a solo tuba back there.
Yeah. And the secret about this hooded tuba is if you can hear it in the front, you don't have enough accompanying it. So.
I see. Well, that's good to know. And then some of those stops are available then as an antiphonal pedal, so you actually can have a full ensemble.
Correct. There's 16, 8, and 4 in the pedal. The flute is 16 and 8, and the principal is 8 and 4.
Okay. In addition, I see if you have a few pistons here that are probably not original to Aeolian-Skinner, I would imagine. The first, you have some ventals to turn off your reeds and mixtures.
Yeah, they did some things to allow you to play it as though it were a French instrument with the grate on the bottom, because the grate can be moved to the choir here.
So having those ventals helps with
and then you have
your French
these
style.
too, if you want to. And they're really pretty cool. Let me just get Like if you're doing a hymn on Sunday, shut the reeds off. Shut the mixture off. And you don't want any pedal. So.
I see, okay. And then you also have some ensemble pistons, I see.
Yeah, I never used them.
Okay. What are they supposed to do?
I think the first one is a flute ensemble. And then the second one,
Nice.
principal. And the third. So if all of a sudden you need the great principal chorus, you just slap on 4.
I see.
So you'd be here.
Blind presets that I assume they're the same on every memory level. So if you change, if you have a guest organist come in, you can just tell them press 4 and you can start the hymn.
Yeah.
Okay, those are handy to have. Well, this is a wonderful instrument. It's interesting to hear once more Michael Quimby's work, but also an Aeolian-Skinner from very much the same period in a different setting.
Right, and what makes it still a complete Aeolian-Skinner is John Hendrickson was the voicer.
And he worked with Aeolian-Skinner.
Yeah. He was the head voice. How long do you remember?
I don't know when he started, but yeah, he
anyway,
was there at the end.
So this is actually a complete Aeolian-Skinner.
Well, it's a wonderful instrument, and I can't wait to hear a little more of it. So we start here in the blower room. This is sort of behind the altar area. This door takes us out behind the altar. And we find pipes of the Great Division back here. It's the added trumpet, some of the mixtures and principals. If we go back into the blower room, there is a ladder that then takes us up into the chamber on the right side of the chancel. And peeking up, we come up underneath 2 wind chests here. And we pop up to the walkboard. You can see some of the pipes. This is the swell chamber we're in now. There's a chest above us, and pipes on either side. We're up above the reeds now. Our trumpet and oboe. You see the 16-foot Rohrgedeck against the back. Our string, and then our capped flute there. You can see the great pipes out through the shades. Continuing up the ladder, we come up to the top level. We have our Vox Humana and our 4-foot clarion here. There's our harmonic flute, our celeste, some of our upper work down there. Looking back, we can see the taller pipes behind us. 16-foot reed extending all the way up here. There's our 16-foot capped flute, is what that is across the back. Peeking out over the great pipes through the shades. Okay, going back down. Here's coming down from the blower room. We can get another look at the blower here. Static regulator on top, and then the regulator for the pipes above us on the floor. Some electronic controls in there for something. Okay, we go back down the hallway and across the chancel to the other side of the organ. There's a similar room over here that gives us access to the choir. All of the relays are back here as well. It's our new relay system. All of the junction boards, and we have a blower on this side as well. And the ladder takes us up. And it looks very similar. We're underneath the choir here. Go up to the level above, and we're looking at the choir pipes. There's our bombard. We have our Dulcan and Spitz viol celeste. 4-foot principal, 2-foot octave, and our mixture are all there on that chest. Back here we see our crumhorn. And some of the 8-foot ranks. Dulcan and Spitz viol. These go all the way up because they are uncovered on this side. Look up, there's another chest up there, so let's go up the ladder. And here on the upper chest, we see our 8 and 4-foot flutes. And our Nazard and tierce. Our slider motors down there. And again, more great pipes out in the case. You can see the 8-foot pipes below us. Now getting into the grate is a little more challenging. It requires a ladder, opening a hatch, but here we are, popping our head up underneath the grate chest. Facade chest here, tubed off. There's some of our great upper work. Right in our face in this tiny little space here. The other side is very similar. Getting into the pedal chamber, we come back down to this hallway, and once again move the ladder. Of course, this is where the organ used to be entirely in these rooms. I think the wall was actually added for this chamber. The first thing we see are the 32-foot pedal pipes. The 16-foot Bordens back there. Back in this room, we have the electronics for the digital 32. Like I said, I think that wall was added at some later point. Going under, we can go look over at the Borden chest, and some of the principal pipes are in here as well. And we see the tone opening through which the entire organ used to speak. Here's our 16-foot portion of the 32s. And of course the speaker for the digital 32s. Getting to the antiphonal is a little more of a challenge, so for the case of this video, we're just going to take a little peek over the edge of the chest. So you can see the 16-foot flute against the back wall, the hooded trumpet. We'll hear it a nice, ornate arrangement. Tom, thank you for demonstrating the 1963 Aeolian-Skinner here at St. Andrews. Now, you were telling me there's still a little bit of work left to be done with voicing and cleaning it up, correct?
Correct. Most of the pedal 8s and 16s have not been gone through yet.
But again, those are up here in the facade, so they're a challenge to get to. So that's still a little bit of work that's going on. But we're glad this organ is being preserved and being worked on. So thank you for taking care of it, and thank you for the great demonstration. We still have more videos coming up from Kansas City, so make sure you're subscribed to our channel. If you like this one and like the job Tom did, please give us a thumbs up down below. Until our next video is out, you can find more streaming classical organ music on our 3 stations, organlive.com, Positively Baroque, and The Organ Experience. Thank you again, Tom. This was great to come visit this church and hear this wonderful organ finally. I'm Brent Johnson. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon.